Hello, and welcome back to Divine Journey 2. Last time we set up a lot of our automation with Britannia. Pay no mind to this guy, by the way, there's an eclipse going on. Last episode, we set up our automations for these living rocks, matters, and wood. We automated our mana production and logistics or transfer, whatever you want to call it. We automated rune crafting, more or less. And we automated the auto crafting using Hellfire Forges. We also built this thing, which I read some comments, and I will be coming back to this. You'll probably just see this change between cuts and stuff. I'll probably talk about it once I feel a lot better about it. For today, though, the docket's pretty simple. I would like to go to Apalachia. I want to get the tier 4 blood magic stuff, and if we've got the time, I would like to start the rituals. I believe the Well of Suffering is here, and I think that's a really good one. So to go to Apalachia, we need to make the portal using the wildwood blocks, but I come prepared. Okay, click the clock. Ooh, that's a pretty color combo. Man, this portal room's getting a lot more filled out. I remember this place used to be so bare, and now it's only kind of bare. I basically swapped our usual backpack over to this handy bag that you've probably seen in my inventory lately. So we can actually use the epic backpack now for our pilfering of goodies, which is nice because this thing is huge. So let's see what Apalachia has to hold for us. I hope it's a better spawn than the last two. This place rocks! This is so pretty! Oh my gosh! Ooh, and I think I see something we want over there. So we need to find a cube-like Apalachia dungeon, go inside, find some buttons, get some fragments, make a key, and then go to the boss room. That looks pretty cubic to me. Aren't you guys pretty? Unfortunately, you are Cataline, so you are doomed to die forever by my hand. Oh man. Is that a pickaxe? That's a whole pickaxe over there. So first impressions of this dungeon, a lot of getting smacked around, more than usual. Can't even check the loot yet. You're a dog. I wonder if that's the Catalines making those noises, actually. I guess we should probably just start off with getting all these spawners out of the way so we can actually think and focus around here. So I saw a pickaxe here? What kind of pickaxe is this? A slime pickaxe. Oh, it's fortified with Skyfather ingots? That's like way beyond what we're capable of doing, right? It's interesting. Maybe we can take a look at this and do something cool with that. What's in here? Enderium Remedy? Ooh, Dark Seal Andal actually could use another one of those. Oh, that's where all the noise is coming from. You're inside there, aren't you? Oh, and there's a button in there, too. Well, thanks for showing me the light, buddy. There's one key fragment. Let's open the medicine bag and see if there's anything cool inside these chests. Those reagents are not bad. This gave me some real has a button behind it vibes. I imagine there's another one in this room somewhere, given that there was one in the other two rooms. Oh, another chest. Oh, that was like the exact same as the other one. That's okay, that's still good stuff. Anything up here? Doesn't look like it. What about below this thing? Aha! There's 3. So I still feel like there should be a key in this room somewhere. I guess we can take all these engineering blocks, like these are nice to have. Oh, there's a button. Glad we ripped this all out. So I imagine the floor up is this? Yeah, up probably has another 4 buttons for me somewhere. But it's also probably dense with mobs at this point. Oh my gosh, there was a dog in there. Okay, well I can't shoot that in there now. I didn't know there were hostages at stake. What the heck is going on here? Get that out of my hand, I'm gonna hurt someone. Getting a lot of nostalgia from going through this dungeon. A lot of stuff that I've done in my past as well. Okay, now I think we can take our time and actually look through this place. Never mind. Oh, there's this button for this one, I guess. Ah, and another spawner. Let's see what we got in here. A Pan's Flute. I think that might do something. Another one of these advanced crafting tables could be good. A Mystic Frying Pan. I believe Mystic is something we also don't get for quite a while. Oh, this is a cool little way of making a sink. That's neat. I will be taking these unending bowls. Food. Like a lot of food of special variety. Itadakimasu. Why, because I got the stew? Oh my goodness. That's quite hearty. We'll worry about a lot of these very up-tiered tools and stuff later. There's almost certainly going to be a button in here somewhere, right? I see a spawner up here. I don't think I can get to that yet. No, it's above me. What is that? Mob? Dolphin? I hope I didn't break any buttons without realizing in this room. That'd be really unfortunate. Or maybe I just keep going up. This gives me some real, there's a button here energy. There it is. We're up to 6 now. But this room is like empty, so that's kind of a problem if I did break something. I really hope I didn't. These carpets are very pretty. Oh, is there something back here? Yes. That makes 7. So be in this room then would be the last one, but I don't think I missed anything here. There's nothing really to miss unless I'm crazy. Let's just do a little bit of cheating. No, it doesn't seem like I messed up anything here. Maybe it's just in one of these little like walkways, like back here maybe, like in between some of these fences. I guess I'll take this tank of remedy. I don't have that. Yeah, I have to assume it's like in the stairwell somewhere, or maybe I broke a button without meaning to. I don't think I saw any buttons though, so I don't know what button I could have broken if that is the case. It would be in this room, I think. Oh! 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 That's a shark? Is he a hostile shark? No, I thought this room seemed a little bit short. Are we friends? We're besties! Oh yay! Oh, these water lilies are gonna be great for my lake at home, or my little pond. That's wonderful. Excuse me, Mr. Shark. Have you seen a button around here by any chance? Oh, pardon me. Oh, there's a few of you back here. I'm just gonna do that. Aha! There we are. I'm gonna take a couple of you guys home, actually. You deserve somewhere much better than here. Also, these seats are backwards. Alright, so now we should be able to make our key. Yes. Can we click this open? Yes. Alright, well, let's give it a run. Oh, let's actually put the magic missile back in the offhand now that there's no wolves to hurt. Twilight Demon. Do you shoot anything? Whoa, whoa, whoa! Whoa, whoa, whoa! You got some gnarly laser beams, dude. And some gnarly nausea that you put on me. Let's drink this potion of stability. We'll make it so we don't take as much knockback. He's taking a lot of damage, I think from himself, maybe? That's kind of pathetic if that's so. There's no way this guy's gonna break through the Ender Armor and the Meat Feeder. It's just too much, especially when he's hurting himself like a Wither does. Yeah, he just game-ended himself there. We got a statue, another key. Oh! Oh! Up there. A heart and a shader grab bag. What's up here? Ooh, one of these beacons that we used to make actual beacons. A magical core, I'll take that. And some spikes of Apalachia we can use to make a crown. So then we use this to make something for Abyssal Craft in a little bit. I thought that Abyssal Crafting was going to come much later. We also don't have a bonus boss to do around here, interestingly. Oh, we have a hater who's back in my domain. My land. So let's see what our spoils entail. Some general flora. I'll hold on to those saplings and see how those things look. Advanced crafting table, a bunch of general mob drops and spawners. Handful of reagents and essences. Oh, these huge water lilies, that's a nice one. Oh, a big cookie. A clock eye. Looks like a cookie. Some conveyors and other immersive engineering stuff. A Pan's flute. I'm not sure what that's going to be used for. Let's toss these water lilies in here. About one there and one there. That looks nice. We might make more ponds later and put more in there. We got a spare dark steel anvil for when this one kicks the bucket. That's nice. We got some sharks. I'll toss one of these in here. I'm not sure if these guys will despawn or not. Yeah, look at him go! Hopefully he doesn't like fall out and start dying like squid do sometimes. We got some Apalachia souls, which I plan on turning into chunks. I'd like to upgrade my sword again. Here we go. Now look at that sword. That looks way cooler than the Wildwood one. Let's prep it for enchanting. And we've got this frying pan and this slimy pickaxe. So it looks like the max mining level on this is Power Stone, which we can already do with the Apalachia pickaxe if we need to, or the refined Corallium one, I believe. So that's not particularly important to us. There's no more modifiers slots left on it. Yeah, all reliable is a 16 mining speed. This thing is 9. Let's shelf our old sword. And this thing's pretty cool. It's a little bit of a fork, but it's a little less goofy than the Wildwood sword. I like the colors too. It looks like our next upgrade would be in Skythorn, which I think is after Thaumcraft. So a little whiles to go before we upgrade it again. But I'm pretty happy with this. This is a cool looking sword. Yeah, if being Skyfather matters, then we'll hold on to this, but otherwise I don't think it particularly does too much for us. And how about this frying pan? It has charged and auto repair. What does charged do? A great question. Maybe you can, like, hit guys with lightning bolts or something, which would be useful for when we get to lightning craft, but, I mean, not right now. And we also got this tank of remedy. I guess we'll just hold on to this, too, in case we ever need it. And we can turn these spikes into a crown, which we can do stuff with later. For now, though, we can actually make a proper beacon, which I'm thinking about, honestly. And we're not short of any of the stuff here, so we may as well try it. Well, not try it, but, I mean, get it. I wonder where I should even put a beacon, because I can't, like, set it all the way through the top of that. I wonder if they can go through chisels and bits blocks. I know we're going to need them for altar caps later, but I don't know where I would want an actual beacon, because I'd probably need several if I wanted to cover my entire base with them. Which would take a lot of blocks of minerals, but, I mean, we're not really pressed for that. Did you fall into the pond? That was really weird. Are you good, man? Oh, okay, dude. Well, that was pretty short, but that's Apalachia done. So looking forward in the quest book, it looks like we only really have 2 ways to go. We have the other Mana Steel tools, which we'll need later, so we're not going to bother with these now. And the Mana Steel sword, which we actually do need right now. This is pretty cheap. Just Mana Steel and a sentient sword, which is also pretty cheap. Next, we have to bind the blade to our soul. So we need a binding reagent for that, which is one of each of these runes. So we gotta go to the forges to make the cores, and then back to the forges to make the reagent. How very cyclical. Yoink. So I think it was ashes, item, then reagent. Oh yeah, look at how pretty that looks. So we can activate it with shift right click, and while it's active it will drain LP from our network. Which is fine, we've got about 100,000. Then we need 5 of these large bloodstone tiles, which are each 4 of these weak blood shards, which we get from killing mobs with the bound blade. And these hybrid abyssliums, which is just chunks of abyssal light, and dreadium, which is all stuff we've done before. As well as a power core, but again, we can autocraft these. So we just need to kill a bunch of mobs, I think. Once we actually have a tier 4 blood altar, it says we can use these demonic slates to make more of these. So we probably want like 24, 28, 32 of these blood shards. Let's see how good this thing is against the golems. Not particularly. How many shards did we get from that? Did we get any? That seems kind of bad. Yeah, we definitely need a better way of spawning these mobs. Ooh, what's that in the sky? In my time of dire need and poor drop rates, is it but a falling star? Just what I needed. You gotta be careful not to go up too high, or else I think we start taking, like, lack of oxygen damage from Galacticraft. Down it comes. Let's see what we get. 8 aquamarines is not bad. And another lucent scroll. Oh yeah, this is already much better with looting. Yeah, that would have been miserable without looting. Look at all these squid drops that I got. We just chuck all this in here and let it run, I guess. Anyway, that's our bloodstone tiles. So we use these as altar caps, and then we also use it to actually make our next tier of orb. And then we'll need our next tier of slates as well. Ooh, I actually really like the way that the quest recommends automating this, is with alternating tiers for opposites. That's really interesting. We might do that later. Looks like tier 4 is pretty similar to tier 3. We're just replacing the stone brick pillars here and putting the bloodstone tiles on top. We could also make them into bricks, I guess, but I like these better. And now we have tier 4, and a lot more upgrade slots to use as well. But I think before we worried about upgrading this thing, we're going to want to do a ritual here, which I think we find out soon. We also need 60,000 LP to turn this into tier 4, so that's going to be kind of tough. I think our incense altar should be good enough, though. At least I hope. Yeah, as long as we fill this up beforehand, we extract 27,000 from ourselves when we use the dagger. So I think we should be good as long as we just don't have Soulfray up. Oh, and it doesn't drain particularly fast at all, so we've got a lot of time. Here we go. Tier 4. Now it's mine. And I am the master. That should be our 4th demonic slate. I'm going to go upgrade the second altar to tier 4 now. Well, made a whole batch of tier 4 blood orbs, so now let's take another step into tier 4 reagents. Or I guess this is essences, actually. So these are pretty easy. We do the crystals already, we do the concentrated catalyst already, we do mana dust already, we even have it over here already. Well, now we have it over here already. We just gotta plug in these interfaces finally. Well, before it actually tells us it's tier 4 essences, we need to make some intensive catalyst. So this should still work. I believe I have this all set up right. Yep. Alright, cool. Oh, we definitely need to downgrade on all of these though. I get the slight sinking feeling that this is going to be super expensive. So let's take a look at each of these. Reductus does not seem too bad, we just need a passive step for lithium. Tenebrae It's not great because of the necessity of black dye. We need to figure that out finally. I saw you can use animal ranchers on squids. That's solidly an option, but I might still try and go with the ink bush thing. I don't know, I'll have to think about it. Presidium needs a new potion, Invar glass, which is not too hard, and Corallium infused stone, which is possible. This is just crafting steps, that's fine. And Potentia has aqua balls and potentiometers. That's fine. We can put that on passive. Aqua balls, though. I wonder if we can do this in a sequential fabricator. And then the rest of these... Oh, we're definitely going to need to worry about ink sacs. That's going to be a problem immediately. Well, let's filter what we can. And then we'll see what we're missing. So it's not great, but it's not bleak. We need lithium. I know we need ink sacs. We need the splash potions of strength, Corallium infused stone, parted Invar glass, potentiometers, and aqua balls. Really, I would say the only hard thing here is probably going to be the Corallium infused stone and the potions of strength. Aqua balls are going to be a little annoying, but nothing too bad, all things considered. So let's go add some passives. So let's start with the easy stuff first. Lithium ingots is just going to be an alloy smelter recipe. This should be fine to leave at 32 stacks. And we need Invar dust. We can leave this one on a downgrade. And hardened Invar glass right here. And we'll leave this one at 4 stacks like all of its other cousins. That's 2 down. We'll do potentiometers next. This doesn't seem too hard. We'll just use an entire crafter for this because we don't really need quartz slabs for anything else, I wouldn't imagine. I imagine we'll only really need a stack of these at a time, so that's fine. Another one down. We'll do Corallium infused stone next. So we're going to need dark stone and these Corallium gem clusters, which I think we make somewhere. Oh, right here actually. And we'll leave dark stone and Corallium infused stone downgraded to 4 stacks. This should be plenty for both of these, I imagine. We'll just take another tick off the list. One interesting thing is we actually don't have a recipe for draconium dust, so I guess we need to set up passive for that as well. And we're really running out of space on this wall already, but here's probably fine. And we'll hit this one with a downgrade too, just to 4 stacks again. So next are the trickier ones. We have the splash potions of normal strength, which doesn't seem too bad. We could probably actually just use a potion brewer or single block for this. Or we might be able to just take this from here and turn it into its own thing, maybe? I mean, there's no real reason to set up a whole line for it if we're already making a little bit of it, so... yeah, let's just do that. Downgrade, upgrade, throw away these potions that I messed up, add a facade, and there we go. This room's gotten quite full, hasn't it? Well, I mean, I guess this was pretty full to begin with. It's really just the walls extended a little bit farther down and are a bit more spotty than they used to be. Alright, so kind of finally we have ink sacs, but aqua balls also take ink sacs because of these kraken scales. And I'm glad we kept the resources fish around and kept all these raw fish. I thought we might need these eventually. All of this is pretty easy to make. All we need is the ink sacs, we have slime and fish, we have treated leather. So really it's probably just a crafter step and then a sequential fabricator with some water in it. But the problem with that is we need to set up ink sacs. So I'm thinking here's a good spot. We're just gonna put a fish tank of squid here and call it a day with an animal rancher there. We'll have an animal rancher here, toss in an add-on. That's probably a bit bigger than I need, actually. Maybe I should have just gone with the 1x. How's about that? Oh, that's much more reasonable. Toss in an energy upgrade, a couple speed upgrades. Then we just gotta fill this thing with water and squids. And supply that with power. So I think squid can despawn, so we're also gonna have to give these guys some names. I'm just gonna grab 8 of them. I feel like that seems like a pretty reasonable amount of squid. Honestly, no, we probably only need 4. I'll release 4 more of these guys. Which is not as humane as you would think. They're probably just going to despawn into the ether. So we'll have Quidward, the squid from Terraria. You little squid! And Armzo's cousin. All we got left is the Aqua Ball, which again should just be a couple crafter steps and nothing too crazy. There's our Kraken skin. We'll leave this in another 1x drawer, no reason to buffer more. Bars? And I guess we'll just chuck this right here. With a fluidic fabrication augment so that it can hold a water tank in it. Upgrade kit. And now we're running. Maybe I want to put some speed upgrades on this fluid conduit though. Yeah, that seems better. We only need this for Potentia, it looks like. So I think I feel comfortable only buffering a stack because I imagine if we need a lot of this, well, it does take our treated leather, so maybe using too much wouldn't be a great idea. We'll do 4 stacks, we'll do 4 stacks. Looks like we're just about out of ink sacs already though, so we're gonna need to buffer that for quite a while. Which is fine, I don't think we need a boatload of ink sacs immediately. But we can cross off our aqua balls. If we look back here, all of these should be filled up now, and it looks like it. Nice. So let's flick these all on, and it should fill up the alchemy tables. I don't think we have enough LP to run all of these, but, you know, we can turn them on. Yeah, I think at this point really all we're missing is LP, so I guess I'll do some stabbing until I get enough for at least one of each essence. Oh, that's a lot of LP. Oh, that's a lot of LP. Good thing we're getting rituals soon, I guess. Well, here's our first Reductus. Yeah, geez, like each sacrifice is an essence. That's bad. I hope I don't need a lot of those to make our Well of Suffering. I guess while we're waiting for LP to fill up, we can look at these reagents. Thankfully, these don't actually take any tier 4 essences, but I imagine, yeah, these cores will, and I'm hoping that we don't need a ton of these cores, at least soon. So we need Elasticity, Void, Suppression, and Potent. Yeah, nothing here looks too bad. I think we've done most of this stuff before. We haven't done Dew of the Void or Vapor of Levity, but the rest of this is pretty easy. We don't have blood infused leather automated, but this is pretty easy. We can just use the blood infusers for this. I don't know why you would ever use the blood altar. That seems wrong, but, you know, everyone has their own journey, I suppose. So we'll just set up some recipes for each of these. So let's see if we can just actually auto-craft them. We can do Potent, Suppression. We're just missing the Vapor of Levity. That's fine. We'll come back to that. Void, Elasticity. Missing Slime Blocks and Silk. Those are just, like, simple crafting steps, really. Yeah, it seems we don't use these particularly often, so we can get away with just auto-crafting these instead of having to put these on any form of passive. And I imagine the same is true for Silk as well. So I've yet to see any of those crafts complete, so let's see what the issue is. Oh, I just forgot to set filters. Okay, that makes sense. Oh, and we actually, yeah, we use 2 green slime blocks, so we need to name one of these. So we need to find a place to name green slime blocks. So we probably do need to passive these then. Well, that's annoying. Oh, for right now, we'll just do this manually, though. Well, that's 3 of 4 done. We just need to do green slime blocks renamed, and we probably need to do both Dew of the Void and Vapors of Levity, especially considering Vapor of Levity needs Dew of the Void. So I think we need to get another soul binder as well for shulkers. Do I have shulkers, actually? I have shulker shells. That's not at all what I'm looking for. I guess we're making a trip to the end, too. Now, I'm starting to get pretty tired of actually walking to the end. So I'm thinking on my own time I might use some of those Applied Energistics spatial cells and just move this thing home, you know? I mean, we've got the space in the portal room, no less, so yeah, maybe we'll just take that. And it'll be taking you as well. While we were doing that, it looks like our last essence is done too. We get some intensive catalysts for our trouble. Boy, a lot of trouble was it. Back to reagents. We have a shulker-powered spawner here, set to capture. Soul vials in, shulkers out the top, set the filter. Now we have shulker vials. Now that we have shulker vials, we can do these Dew of the Void and Vapor of Levity. So we need 3 VAT steps. We need 1 for nutrient distillation, which is some form of meat, as well as we're probably just going to use mushrooms just because it has a good multiplier. And they're super cheap. And water, if this is a really easy one. We'll set a couple interfaces here and here. And let's get filtering. So for nutrient distillation, rotten flesh seems like probably our best bet here. We can use any of the heads for a mildly better bonus, but rotten flesh is far less valuable to us than any of the heads are, so we'll just use rotten flesh and mushrooms. And then to start this whole line, we also need to request some water. Power cell the mix, and we're running. We'll have this push to the bottom, just to push all the nutrient distillation into this tank here, and then we'll have some fluid import buses once we're all done here. So that's nutrient distillation done. For Dew of the Void, I believe we have grains of Piesality already. Yes, we do. We already have these on passive. So now we need these grains of the end, which we get from ender crystals. So we need to actually passive ender crystals then as well. And to do a little bit of looking ahead, we're also going to need to passive these prescient crystals. So we're going to need to passive these in another soul binder. As you can see, we're out of space, which is annoying. I guess we can use some space here. We can just have this be the soul binding area as above the fluid stuff. We don't really need a whole lot of soul binder recipes, I would hope. So this should be fine. We'll have a couple drawers here, colored properly, of course. It looks like we also need to bring back the soul vials into the system. We'll have extracts on the back filtering only the soul vials. And then a couple downgrades, of course. And that's prescient and ender crystals passive. Now we need to grind them up too. But those I don't feel too bad about putting them here because, well, they're not special and they don't really go with anything. Which, this hardly goes with anything of itself, but, you know, whatever, who cares at this point? I care a little bit. And now we have our passive grains of the end, and passive grains of prescience. For Dew of the Void, we need grains of Piesality and grains of the end, plus our nutrient distillation. So let's request those. So I think all the filters are set up, we just need to actually have the import buses and some fluid storage for all of these. Although I'm not sure if Huge fluid storage is really the best idea for something like this because I value my solarium. Well, actually, I guess we're not really using a ton of solarium for this, are we? It's really just power and time. I guess we can use storage disks then. 3 newly partitioned storage cells, and watch our nutrient distillation go up already. Set some fluid requests over here. And a few filters later, we have nutrient distillation going in here, dew of the void going in here, and we're making vapor of levity now. Yeah, and it immediately goes into this tank and then into storage. Good. Great. We'll clean this up in a little bit. Notably, we need specifically the buckets of each of these, so I'm just going to use some pressurized fluid tanks. And to make sure these are filled, we're going to use fluid storage buses rather than export buses. I want our dew of the void that we make to first go into here so that we have some when we need it. We're going to put these to only store or dew of the void on a high priority. Oh, that's a problem. Forgot to select the filter reward. Now we're buffering our vapor of levity, and dew of the void will come after that's full. So I just gotta do some waiting, really. But let's pretty up the place while I do that. I fell down. Oh, I went outside. No! No! What do you mean? Oh. Oh. You can't do this to me. I was gonna say I was about to head outside to take a look at, how it looks now. We've got some, drawers hooked up here, so we should be able to see our buckets of each of these in the system now. And I thought I saw a falling star, but it disappeared. It must have burnt up in the atmosphere. What a shame. Anyway, yeah, we got the buckets thing done. I mean, that's just kind of a side note now. Yeah, I found a spot for this. We have a sequential fabricator underneath this inscriber here that puts it into the back here. You can kind of see the conduits here. And then beyond that, it's just a copy of the setup we have over at the alchemy tables. We have 2 more slots for this, should we ever need them, but I'm not sure if we will. But that's how I also felt last time, so, that should be the last thing off our list, though. So now we should be able to craft a suppression reagent. And we're already right here, so we can do the filter. Oh, it was already done. And that's our last reagent. We get some diamantine for our troubles, and we unlock the rites. Some ritual stones. We need more than the quest suggests, but this is to guide us in the right direction. So we need a master ritual stone, a ritual diviner, or a diviner dusk. I guess it's the multi-block placing thing, presumably. To activate them, use a weak or awakened activation crystal. This will cost some amount of LP from the network. And we get a dark core for it. So how many do I need for a well? Like, that's the $1 million question, right? I guess we just start with the 16 and the quest will tell us more. Oh dear. Oh dear. Well, I'm glad they give us one of these back, because these tenebrae are not cheap. Well, a healthy amount of idling later, we should be able to craft our first dark core, and that should let us craft our ritual stones the right way. It looks like to continue on, we need to do these inscription tools, and I believe this is what lets us actually go to the Well of Suffering, so we need to do this quest, and this quest. So it looks like each of these inscription tools are just a rune with a lot of LP, and this one is more of the same, except it's 2 runes of mana. Here's our 4th little crayon, I guess this is. Now we're a shaman, I guess. I'm gonna say crayon or crayon. Or maybe it's different if you're like, across the pond in like Britain or something. Crayon. Maybe you just call it something different. It's like a chips and fries kind of thing. You can tell I'm starting to get really bored of rending myself asunder. I kind of want to chew on one of these. Which of the elemental inscription tools would you chew on? Let me know in the comments. That sucks so bad. I'm probably leaning more towards the fire one. Like, that looks pretty tasty. Maybe the water one, just because it might be blue raspberry flavored. I'm a big blue raspberry sicko, personally. Well, our grape one's ready. I guess our second grape one. And we can make our ritual diviner. So we can make this with some spellbinding cloth and one of each of these tools. Spellbinding cloth is mana weave, so this is like, what, like a stack of mana string and a couple mana pearls? And then just the stuff we already made. It's not too bad. There we go. Supposedly more divine than the mod pack. Not sure if I believe that. Alright, so now to continue on with here, we need to come all the way back down to here. And we need to go hit up Shagaroth again. For the altar, we need some Apalachia chunks, Abysslium, a Apalachia heart, and some Dreadcloth. And the bottom needs the spike crown that we got from the Apalachia dungeon, some more Abysslium, a dark core, a suppression core, and our old dreaded gateway key. Fortunately, I have prepared all of these things between cuts while you weren't looking. I swear, you really need to pay better attention. Like, that was like 30 minutes, and you just didn't even notice it. Anyway, we're gonna take this cow, and we're gonna use him as a sacrifice. Or are we? Yoink. Guys, I sacrificed him. Cthulhu, you gotta believe me here. He's gone. He's not there. Object permanence isn't real. The old ones can't see! And it is crazy how the old ones just let you get away with whatever you want. Yoink. Now we have our top and bottom of our altar. I don't know what we do with this. We find a Dreadlands mountain, dig to Y40, make an altar, right-click the altar, and we spawn the dungeon. Oh, well, I mean, fair enough. I guess I should have expected it to tell me exactly what to do. Over here seems good. We put this here and this here. Ah, I seem to have a visitor. If you may, if you can, buddy. I should have brought a fire resistance potion. Oh well. Ooh, that's something I want, I think. Yeah, collect the crystallizer. Well, that was easy. Oh, I forgot to refill my meat feeder. Oh, no, I didn't. I just forgot to turn this on. Haha. Alright. No more fear. I guess that's probably an effigy of the guy. Oh, he's big! Whoa! Let's take things a little slow here. Just to get rid of those dread guards, because those guys are annoying. Oh, that was your back. Oh, you're actually really cool looking. My mistake, you know. Oh, you actually took half a heart off me. Not many people can claim to do that. Unfortunately, I can just do this to you. Your minions mean nothing to me, buddy. Die. Ooh, a key. I will take that back. The legendary treasure of the Dreadlands, left by the ones who ran the mine before I came into the picture. Don't get your hopes up. I bet it's just a block of dirt or something. Well, Cthulhu's got my back, you know, he would never scam me like that. I mean, it's in gold text though, right? Like, that's kind of sick. Like, how many dirt is in gold text? Like, that's pretty cool. How many things are in gold text, you know? Like, that's kind of neat. So we can crystallize some stuff. Abyssal Night, gold, blaze, and carbon. And some amount of those will give us the next thing. So we should probably get like a stack of each of these. Well, I do appreciate Shagaroth was a little bit chill like that. He didn't like curse my name and my entire bloodline for me doming him. At least, not in the language I understand. And said we are certainly keeping this legendary treasure of the Dreadlands in our mementos boxes up here. So it looks like we can get carbon clusters straight from blocks of coal or charcoal. The blaze we have to make from these blaze meshes. Gold is blocks of gold, that's not too bad either. And Abyssal Night is making me think we have to probably grab some of those golem guys finally. We'll just do something simple like this for the start. We'll chuck in 16 of each block except the one Abyssal Night. What does this take to run? Probably blaze rods maybe? No. So I'm confused as what I use to power this actually. Is it just coal maybe? No. Oh! It does tell you. Do I just have to manually place it? Ah, understood. I guess I'll just wait here while this whole thing goes through. Alright, so we've got a few options now to go to. More than likely the one I'm leaning towards is of course the Ritual Diviner Dusk. I want that Well of Suffering, and I'm tired of making these essences by hand. Or I guess, getting the LP by hand, more specifically. There's a weak activation crystal. I mean, we're probably going to need to make this too, right? So yeah, this is the same path, really. And Summon the Thunder. I don't know why we would need to do that. We can craft a Spectre of Thunder that creates a thunderstorm, or use some concentrated cloud seed, and we can capture the storm in an environmental accumulator as an ingredient in the awakened activation crystal. Oh, okay, I think we actually do need to find one of those. I don't think we've seen one of those before. I'll have to double check my waypoints though. So I guess we'll start with this one because, well, we don't have to leave home for it yet, you know? Looks like it's a bunch more Spellbinding Cloth and the Abyssal Night, plus another suppression course. I'm glad I picked Presidium from that quest reward. This is stuff we all have done, or have though. Easy craft. So for the Well of Suffering, we do need, I think, just the normal crystal, which is kind of nice. Or I guess the weak activation crystal. That's a lot of LP. That's kind of a lot of LP, actually. That's a lot of LP. I think we can do that still. with the setup we have. Our altar capacity is around 66,000. And this is easy. Yeah, we can just make this right now. So let's get some LP, I guess. Blood Altar's max size is 66,000. I'm hoping this doesn't, like, rip through it super fast. I mean, that's not slow, but we should be fine. We would just need to wait out 20 seconds of Soul Fray, and if we can do that, we should be good. Got to about 20,000. It was a little close, but we're okay. Yep, here it is. Activation. So it looks like we have two options. We can either automate Will, or we can automate LP. I think LP is probably the best to go for right now. This is super easy, plus it will let our essences run all the time, which is going to be really important, I imagine. So we need to make the Well of Suffering ritual above or below the Blood Altar. So it'll constantly damage nearby mobs, which fills up the altar and gives us access to LP with Runes of Sacrifice, I imagine. Would probably help a lot. So they recommend Witches, but I feel like probably the best one would be Undead Mobs and Graveyard Soil, because that's just a constant regen effect, and you don't really have to do very much about it. Well, I suppose the same is true of Witches. All they would do is drink regen potions. There's no aggro. Maybe we do Witches. Yeah, nothing else here seems particularly enticing besides chuck a couple Witches somewhere where the sun don't shine. So we're going to want to do that on this one. I think we're going to go below for this. I kind of like the sight lines that go around here, and I feel like putting something up in the sky, I don't think we could put it particularly high. Like, I would want it at minimum up there, and I don't think we could do that. I don't think they would let us. So we'll probably just go below and figure something out down there eventually. This whole bottom section is a big work in progress. I don't know if you've noticed. I want to do something cool, but I don't really know what to do, especially considering the kind of colossal space requirements of it all. Once I get a better understanding of how big these tier 6s are going to be, and if I want 1 or 2 or 3 more Blood Altars over there, then I'll figure this out. Anyway, for the Well of Suffering we need 36 Ritual Stones. We don't have that many. And a Master Ritual Stone, which takes 4. So we need about 40 of these, or 3 crafts. Fortunately, I've been batching up some Tenebrae in the meantime. Well, batching is 16. So I think we're good here. So how does this thing work, actually? Can I get a preview? Oh! Is this the whole thing? Oh, no, there's something clicking to the ground there. Oh! There we go. Okay. I wonder how far away it can be. So it looks like we got a 10 block radius for the mobs, 5 blocks around it, and 10 blocks up. So we'd want to put this within 10 blocks of the altar, really. I guess we'll start at the bottom for now, and if we feel like putting something up there later, we can do that. I've always wanted to do this, man. I've never done this in modded before. I've never had a multi-block like this. I don't know how to start it. So the quest does actually give us 2 witch spawn eggs, so we'll definitely put these to use. But we also have soul vials of witches, so my hope is that they don't poison me and thus poison themselves. I don't care about getting poisoned, I care about them poisoning themselves, which would be bad. Like that, see? They're doing it right now. Oh, you feeble-minded creatures. Looks like they're drinking regen potions pretty fast, though, so I think we're okay. A rush of energy flows through the ritual. Oh, it's working. Oh, okay. Let's take this out. How fast does it fill? That's like okay. I can put in more, right? I think it's per mob. I have 12 in there right now. Yeah, let's get some more, I think. So here's the plan. They just won't see me if I'm invisible, right? Like that's how potions of invisibility work. I mean, you couldn't see me, right? They're not looking at me. Well, they're not like super looking at me. I mean, we can also just dump them in like that. How's the rate on this? I guess it's also before Runes of Sacrifice. 900 before any runes, and Runes of Sacrifice increase by 10% per rune. Oh, I need to name all of these. Oh no. Oh no. No. Oh. Okay. That's kind of a blunder. It's been a little while since the previous clip. As you can see, I tricked out this altar. We've got 2 of the sets of the Runes of Sacrifice. I believe it's 28 in total. We got, I think this is also 28 speed runes. And we've swapped out the witches. We're instead using a powered spawner for Buffalo, because passive mobs don't despawn. And because the range of the powered spawner is up here, it only really checks up here, so it just kind of keeps spawning Buffalo, which is really good because these guys have a lot of health and feed a lot into the altar. Much less favorably, however, is that I noticed that you can't really extract a whole lot from the Blood Altar. The reason is because we need these displacement runes, which increases as the tooltip would imply, the input-output rate by a lot. The problem is that these take ethereal slates, which is tier 5, and we don't have tier 5. So we still have to do all of this manually, but we got to cannibalize all the runes of self-sacrifice we had over there and bring them over here. So this goes for a lot now. But this does fill up all of our essences. Our actual current bottleneck right now is tin clumps, and that's just because we're out of sulfur. So my plan for that is, between episodes, I'm going to mess with the blaze farms and the mana dust production. That's over here. And I'm going to swap these out for some pulverizers for each of the thermal rods. So that should give us a lot of sulfur that we can use for both mana dust and hopefully other stuff. Alternatively, we can turn coal into sulfur with a PRC, but this is not something I would like to do if I can help it. Or in worst case scenario, we do get access to sulfur seeds, not particularly far from now. I believe that would be in the next chapter, right around here, right after we get Terra Steel, which is not particularly far away, actually. Anyway, this is a very long way to go about saying the Well of Suffering is done. Oh, I also changed out the pillars here, because apparently they don't have to be stone brick. So now they're corp blocks. For now, at least. Those might change as well. I thought about looking into will automation this episode, but I decided not to once I saw all of this text. That's a lot of words, and something we don't have time for today. Overall, though, if we head back to our docket, we did get our tier 4 altar, we got our essences and reagents, and we got our rituals. At least the important one. So I think that's a great place to end off the episode for today. As I just went over a moment ago, we went to Apalachia, we got our tier 4 essences, we got our tier 4 reagents, and we finished our Well of Suffering, which is about as cool as I thought it would be. It'll probably look cooler once I put some elbow grease into making it look nice, but that'll come eventually. Next time, I'm hoping we can finish up Chapter 17, because I'd really like to get into Chapter 18. There's a lot of cool stuff that I want to get there. Anyhow, if you got this far, presumably you liked the video, maybe you could leave a like, or perhaps a comment if you so choose. Thank you for watching, and I hope to catch you next time. Bye-bye.